Bolivian government has confirmed that the Wednesday botched military coup in the country was first planned by some military leaders and the civilian staff of the detained and dismissed Army Chief, General Juan José Zuniga in the month of May 2024. The Bolivian government statement made available on Thursday indicated that the civilian staff of the detained former Army Chief is the one that developed the operational strategies to execute the botched coup. Consequently, a video posted online showed numbers of military and civilian leaders being arrested and taken into custody in addition to the 3 top military generals earlier arrested and detained in connection with the botched coup on Wednesday. President Luis Arce has refuted claims that the botched coup was stage-managed as a political stunt requested by him to gain popularity. CNN, while reporting the Bolivian government press statement, stated in quote thus, Bolivia has arrested more than a dozen high-ranking military and intelligence officials following a failed attempt to unseat the country's president in a coup allegedly led by its former army chief. Military officials first held meetings in May to plot the coup attempt on Wednesday, which involved mobilizing armed forces toward the capital's main square and seizing power by force, according to a report sent to CNN by the Bolivian government. The meetings were led by former Army Chief General Juan José Zuniga and former Navy Commander General Juan Alays, with Zuniga's civilian personal advisor allegedly devising the strategy of the coup, the report claims. All 3 men are among 17 people arrested so far in connection with Wednesday's events, most of them members of the military, the report says. Other top officials arrested include Military Intelligence Chief Julio Bitrago. The coup attempt, which was condemned by the Bolivian government and international leaders, comes as the South American country of roughly 12 million people struggles with an economic crisis and political instability that has followed mass street protests, CNN report ends in quote. It will be recalled that the 2 major military leaders that led a coup against the government of Bolivia, watched by large crowds of civilians on Wednesday, have since been arrested. The Bolivian military coup was thwarted as citizens outnumbered national police and military troops, forcing the security operatives to withdraw from the presidential palace and run for safety to avoid using their weapons to kill innocent civilians, as seen in the videos posted online by residents and eyewitnesses. Former Army and Navy commanders, Juan José Zuniga and Juan Alays Salvador, were identified as the main architects of the coup attempt and were arrested immediately. Bolivian Defense Minister Edmundo Lomilo reportedly confirmed that Juan José Zuniga was dismissed on Tuesday night by President Luis Arce. At a press conference, Interior Minister Eduardo del Castillo said the 2 officers would be tried for crimes related to internal security. Troops led by Bolivia's Army General, Commander Juan José Zuniga had attempted a coup by seizing the presidential palace and surrounding square. Reports said a tank rammed the palace doors. However, after international condemnation and pressure, General Zuniga ordered his soldiers to retreat within hours. President Arce praised the withdrawal as a win for Bolivia's democracy and addressed the nation following protests against the alleged coup attempt. According to Reuters, Bolivian armed forces pulled back from the presidential palace in La Paz and a general was arrested after President Luis Arce slammed a coup attempt against the government and called for international support. Earlier in the day, military units led by General Juan José Zuniga, recently stripped of his military command, had gathered in the central Plaza Murillo Square, home to the presidential palace and Congress. Today the country is facing an attempted coup d'etat. Today the country faces once again interest so that democracy in Bolivia is cut short, as said in comments from the presidential palace, with armed soldiers outside. The Bolivian people are summoned today. We need the Bolivian people to organize and mobilize against the coup d'etat in favor of democracy. A few hours later, a Reuters witness saw soldiers withdraw from the square and police take control of the plaza. Bolivian authorities arrested Zuniga and took him away, though their destination was unclear. Inside the presidential palace, Arce swore in Jose Wilson Sanchez as the military commander, Zuniga's former role. He called for calm and order to be restored. I order that all personnel mobilized on the streets return to their units, Sanchez said. We entreat that the blood of our soldiers not be spilled. Tensions have been building in Bolivia ahead of general elections in 2025, with leftist ex-president Evo Morales planning to run against former Army Arce, creating a major rift in the ruling Socialist Party and wider political uncertainty. Many do not want a return of Morales, who governed from 2006 to 2019 when he was ousted amid widespread protests and replaced by an interim conservative government. Arce then won election in 2020, according to Reuters. We had reported on Wednesday that irregular movement and mobilization of soldiers have been observed around the presidential palace in Bolivia and the state capital Central Square, igniting a fear of possible military coup in the South America country. Bolivian President Luis Arce denounced the irregular mobilization of some army units in La Paz and former leader Evo Morales accused a top general of plotting a coup. A recent video showed the Bolivian president, Luis Arce, in a direct face-to-face confrontation with the leader behind the attempted military coup in Bolivia, right at the entrance of the presidential palace. Photos and videos taken outside Bolivia's presidential palace in La Paz on Wednesday, June 26, and posted online showed military police outside the main entrance as an armored vehicle rammed into the door of the palace. Soldiers were also seen firing tear gas outside the Legislative Assembly as President Luis Arce raised alarm of an irregular deployment of troops in the capital. Bolivian television also showed us confronting the João José Zuniga, the general commander of the army, in a hallway in the palace. "I am your captain, and I order you to withdraw your soldiers, and I will not allow this insubordination," Ars said. Zuniga told journalists before entering the palace, "Surely soon there will be a new cabinet of ministers. Our country, our state cannot go on like this." He added that, for now, he recognizes President Ars as commander-in-chief, the AP reports. Protests in Bolivia have intensified in the last few months as the Bolivian economy worsens, and Ars and his former ally, former President Evo Morales, have been fighting for the future of the country's movement for socialism, MAS, ahead of 2025 elections. Bolivian armed forces took over the capital's central square on Wednesday, and an armored vehicle rammed through the entrance to the presidential palace, followed by soldiers, igniting fears of a military coup. Residents said heavily armed soldiers and armored vehicles were seen gathering in the central square, Plaza Murillo, while an armored vehicle pushed into the presidential palace, which sits on the square, and soldiers rushing in. The three chiefs of the armed forces have come to express our dismay. "There will be a new cabinet of ministers. Surely things will change, but our country cannot continue like this any longer," General João José Zuniga told a local TV station. Zuniga addressed reporters in the square prior to the assault on the National Palace. "Stop destroying, stop impoverishing our country, stop humiliating our army," he said in full uniform, flanked by soldiers, insisting the action being taken was supported by the public.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.